the projects looks like they are inserted in a complex, even remote, naturalistic context. Has the off-site construction technology ever represented for your studio a useful methodology to tackle, in some ways, extreme construction sites?
I think that the off-site, especially in the Icefjord project, a lot of things, since the climate are so harsh and the Arctic conditions are quite difficult to build, you have a very small building period. So some things had to be produced in a factory or in a covered house, and then moved to the site and quickly constructed in that short period. So yes, that would be my question. I think it's an important way of going ahead. Also, since the terrain or the conditions can be quite difficult to work at site. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. One more question. Aesthetics, context, and people are the axioms of your studio's compositional approach. When does the technical reflection on the constructive characteristics of architecture take place in the design process?
I think it's quite early in the design phase that we work together with engineers. We don't have engineers in-house, but we always collaborate. And they come in an early stage of the competition or design phase in a project.
So from the very early stage?
Yes. Yeah.
Among the many schools of architecture, the Scandinavian one demonstrates a particular ability to include contemporary interventions into the landscape. What do you think is the reason for this?
I think maybe it's true what you say in the question. I also see a lot of great students when applying to the office shows a good and great ability in working with landscape. But if I have to answer the question anyway, I think maybe there is a fascination and a strong relationship with nature. And therefore maybe we have, it's a focus maybe in the Scandinavian schools, maybe. But that's a guess.
About your project that you did in the past, which one you are particularly proud or fond of?
I think maybe the whale.
Maybe the whale.
Yeah, I have to say. I think it's interesting how it communicates on many levels. So some projects are very interesting only for architects. They deal with certain structural dilemmas maybe, or aspects of arranging an office building, etc. that architects thinks are very interesting. But the whale has this power somehow to communicate with all people, and all people think it's interesting. Therefore, I think, the whale.
Super. And being in such a young generation context, which advice do you think you can pass over to young architects?
Yeah. So I think that it's important to still be a little bit naive, to allow yourself to say the wrong thing or do a mistake and keep on testing. So not always going the safe way, but allow yourself to go into a new project or new sketch process and be a little bit naive. Yeah.